When someone builds a blueprint that is so powerful, it makes you wonder what are the secrets that are keeping it all together? And that is what we will be answering today when it comes to Jay-Z. Now, Jay-Z recently just came out with an interview on GQ. And if you are a spiritualist, if you are someone who has discernment, or if you are someone who can just pick up on patterns, you know that there was a lot of things that weren't really being said when it came to these interviews. But what we're going to go ahead and do and see today is what are some of these secrets that he is keeping? What is some of this energy? Because there has been a lot of rumors and dark energy around him. So we want to go ahead and tap into that energy as well. Now, if this is something that you like, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our message for Jay-Z. So right off the bat, why now, Spirit? Why now when it comes to interviews? Because Jay-Z is a very private person. Why now? With the Six of Wands being here, the Knight of Wands being, the Six of Wands being here, the Knight of Swords being here, and then the King of Pentacles being here. With these first three cards, it's very telling. Jay-Z cares about his image and how he is perceived. Overall, with the Six of Wands, this being the first card, he knows that his image is on the chopping block and he wants to come out and get ahead of things, indicated by the Knight of Swords, him coming through fast-paced to clear up any misconceptions so that he can save his image and his public perception. Now, you may be thinking, why is he doing that? When it comes down to it, with the King of Pentacles, even though Jay-Z made these comments like, I'm not a capitalist, that may be true, but with the King of Pentacles being here, he's definitely cares about his money and his position. Okay. Was there something specifically that triggered Jay-Z that made him come out to start doing interviews? Was there something specific that came out? That card didn't really want to come out. Was there anything specific? I think within him, with the Nine of Swords being here, there is some anxiety. There is a lot of anxiety that he is feeling, even if he is not necessarily coming out, and even if he's not portraying that. Behind the scenes, there is a lot of anxiety that he's carrying with the Nine of Swords. Spirit, let's go deeper into that. Let's get three cards. Let's get three cards to clarify that Nine of Swords. Behind the scenes, what triggered this Nine of Swords energy? Okay. And give me one more card, Spirit. I would say this. There has definitely been a lot of fights behind the scenes that he's really trying to get away from, with the Eight of Wands being here. Now, the Eight of Wands talks about moving forward. In this energy, it feels like there has been a lot of fights, turmoils, and he's really trying to move away from this in distances. Once again, he really cares about his image. Another thing that is a motivating factor is this Queen of Wands being here in the reverse. Now, the Queen of Wands can be someone who is acting erratic, someone who is I would say acting erratic, very mad, very emotional, someone that is enraged, but this is a female's energy. So this could be representative of his wife behind the scenes, causing, there being fights and bickerings behind the scenes because this is affecting her as well. So that may be why he's trying to get in front of this, represented by the Eight of Wands being here, get in front of this so that he can essentially subside that anxiety that he's feeling. Okay, another question. Let's go get a little bit further into this. What is the root cause? What is the root cause of the turmoil that Jay-Z may be trying to get ahead of? But this gives me clearly that he's trying to get ahead of something. What is he trying to get ahead of exactly, Spirit? What is he trying to get ahead of exactly? He doesn't want to be vulnerable. He doesn't want to be vulnerable. Also, with the Five of Cups being here as well, it's almost like he doesn't want to go through a stage of mourning or a stage of losing. Even though, like he said, he is Jay-Z. He has billions of dollars. He has almost everything. But Jay-Z is somebody who needs to have it all, and he is not focused on if he loses something. What I'm picking up on is something about being vulnerable. If he loses something, he's not someone who is going to focus on what he has remaining. He's only going to be able to focus on what he lost. So it does seem like he's really trying to prevent losing something, and it really is putting him in a vulnerable position. What is he focused on losing? What is he focused on losing, Spirit? What is he focused on losing? What is he focused on losing, Spirit? Okay, let's get 2 cards. What is he focused on losing? The Justice card. When it comes to some sort of legal case or legal battle, I can't make this up. He's trying to get in front of something that may have some legal implications with the Justice card being here, which is putting him in a vulnerable position. Whatever this is, 5 of Wands, this also talks about, not only does it talk about competition, but this talks about equal competition, being involved in a brawl where everybody can essentially make a really good argument. It's just like whoever this anxiety Jay-Z has caused by the justice system, I really feel like whoever he's going up against behind the scenes, these people are just as equally as powerful. These people have just as much money, so just as much power that he's really trying to get in front of. Okay. I'm a little bit nosy, so let's go ahead and get a little bit deeper into this. So, exactly, what is the legal matter? What is the legal matter itself with the Justice card? What is the legal matter itself? What is the legal matter itself? Something that's gonna wind up being a burden with the 10 of Wands being here. Something that really, I'm going to tell you this. Something that probably is a burden that he needs to drop with the 10 of Wands being here in the reverse. Yeah. Something that is a burden that ultimately he is going to need to drop to preserve the wealth of his family with the 10 of Pentacles being here. Jay-Z is holding on to something that's really burdening him, that he needs to, whatever this is, he needs to get away from it. And this is in a legal sense, that he needs to get away from it, distance himself as much as possible so that he can preserve the wealth, the legacy of his family. Okay. With the Seven of Cups being here, he has a lot of choices and decisions that needs to be made, because there are a lot of moving pieces when it comes to him and what he has going on. I fear that he has gotten himself into a situation where he may be going against someone who has just as many resources as him. It almost feels like, before I say that, let's say this. Spirit. What Jay-Z is currently going through right now, is it fair or unjust, or is this his karma? What Jay-Z, okay. What Jay-Z is going through right now, is it unjust or is this his karma? And give me one more. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take. I would say this. With the Page of Swords coming out, there are things that need to be talked about and really need to be revealed when it comes to him and his energy just in total. In order for, and I would say this, because with the Two of Cups being here in the reverse, there has been there needs to be a revelation about the relationships that he has behind the scenes that have not been fair or have been imbalanced. I would say this. So there are definitely people who did not get their fair share when it came to him, where the connections are imbalanced. And these revelations honestly needed to come out. With the Two of Wands being here in the reverse. And this talks about moving forward in any kind of way. In order for Jay-Z to move forward, maybe to get the deals and stuff that he was getting, he needs to address the relationships that he has, because these are questions that people had. Now, if it's fair or unjust, I would say this. With the Ace of Cups being here in the reverse, I would say emotionally, there has probably been a lot of people that have been hurt by him, people who have been emotionally drained, people who have just like lost themselves emotionally because of him, and these things definitely needs to be addressed. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull another deck. Go ahead and pull in another deck, because we kind of got a background on what's going on as far as why he came out, what his motivations are. It definitely feels like something on a legal realm. I want to know when it comes down to it, what is Jay-Z's master plan? What is his master plan at this time? Let's get 4 cards. Okay. Give me 2 more cards. What is his master plan? I would say this. 1, with the Hierophant being here, the Hierophant talks about tradition, but it also talks about our values and the way that we see things. Jay-Z, ultimately, his plan is to come off as a person of authority, someone who is wise and someone that you would seek counsel from. And this is what he's essentially been doing for the last, I would say 15 years. being perceived as being a gatekeeper. To him, he wants to keep this position in the culture of a mentor, ultimately. He does want to, with the star card being here, there is a heavy sense of him wanting to create balance and harmony, but I would say this is around his name and how he is being received. He really wants to go back to the way things were prior to maybe a lot of these allegations coming out. But being very transparent with you guys, with the Ace of Pentacles being here, this is a good chance that this is all a money grab or for his financial success. Something about monetary. This is giving that he does not want to lose his position, to lose his money, to lose his financial success. And with the Seven of Pentacles being here, I would say this. Even though his wife has become a billionaire, things like that, when it comes to the things that his investments and things that he's planted to grow, they have not grown in a sense that he has liked them to do. So he has to go back to pretty much the blueprint, and he has to rework the plan in order for him to keep his cash flow being here. Now, I want to say this. I would like to get a little bit more as far as why is it important that he is being perceived as a mentor, in addition to what he's invested into that may not have been growing in the way that he wants. So first, clarify the Hierophant for me. The reason why he needs to have this perception of being a mentor and a gatekeeper in hip hop is because of the two of Pentacles. Now, I'm not gonna sit up here and say that Jay-Z, I'm gonna say that he's a hustler. I'm not gonna say he's a scam artist. But with the Hangman being underneath here, I would say, and the Hangman talks about perception, our perception of him, of being a gatekeeper, is the things that keeps his finances and his money. It keeps the ship going. I would say there has been, when he is being questioned upon and he is not looked favorable, and the perception of him has changed, his finances and what he's able to do on a financial level definitely changes. It stops a lot of things from moving forward from him. Now, with the Seven of Pentacles being here, what are these investments that he's grown into? Because obviously, the reason why I asked it like this is because obviously, whatever these investments that have not been growing for him is the reason why he's cleaning up his image. So why is that? With the Seven of Pentacles being here. Okay, that was a lot of cards that came out, but I'm going to go ahead and take all three of them. So 4 cards came out in total. I would say this. Even though we see Jay-Z as being successful, with the 4 of Swords kind of clarifying that Seven of Pentacles, things have not been growing or not have been in a real flow state for him in a while. And he's been thinking about ways to make his investments or make himself seem more popular to make his investments grow. But I would say a lot of things have stalled for him or slowed down for him. Now, I will say this, with the King of Cups being here in the reverse, emotionally, I don't think that he is as put together, or things are, he is not at an emotional point where he has it all together the way that he says he does. Emotionally, there's a lot of panic. I would say there's also a lot of manipulation as well that he's trying to perceive to us to make it seem like things are okay, but he doesn't truly feel that, I would say, on an emotional level. With the Eight of Pentacles being here, and then the 5 of Swords also being here, I would say this. He is working overtime, maybe to the point of exhaustion, to clear up these rumors or to even fight these battles. And I would say this really feels like behind the scene, because emotionally, this is getting to him. And him not being able to have the influence that he once had. So ultimately, what is going to be next when it comes to Hove? When it comes to Jay-Z? What is coming next? Let's say, what's coming? Let's just see what's coming next for Hove. Let's get 5 cards. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. And let's get 1 card. Okay. I would say this. Ultimately, I do think that Jay-Z is going to ultimately have a quick win with the 8 of Wands being here and then the Magician card. I would say this, for a lot of people, they cannot see what's going on behind the scenes. So him positioning to clean up his image, he is working overtime, and he is going to have a quick win by manifesting. He's doing something to really manifest this quick win. And this is to ultimately soothe his emotions, soothe his feelings, and soothe his ego. So I do see ultimately over the next couple of months, you're gonna see that it feels like he's really winning. Things are really going in the way that he wants them to go. But behind the scenes, there is a sense of, with the Sun card being here in the reverse, there is a sense of him losing optimism. There is also a sense of immaturity as well, because with the King of Swords being here, he's still behind the scenes manipulating situations. With the King of Swords, he's still behind the scene gaslighting things. And even though he's getting these quick wins and he's really manifesting, like maybe manifesting this love that he desires, he doesn't really feel this way. There may be a lot of ideas, but there's also a lot of confusion because he's not truly convinced. And ultimately, underneath it all, behind the scenes with the 3 of Swords, Jay-Z is going to, even though he's going to get this quick win, there is a reckoning behind the scenes that he is going to have to address, with the 3 of Swords being here, the people that he's hurt, the things that he's done to discourage people, all of the heartache and trauma that he has brought that he is really trying to avoid. And ultimately, with the 3 of Swords being here, with the 6 of Wands, even though initially it doesn't seem like that, the thing that his image and his perception, the thing that he cares the most about, it really is going to be tarnished. So yes, he will get this quick dopamine rush of quick love and things like that, but ultimately, with the 3 of Swords being here, the 6 of Wands, he is going to have to address a lot of these things. With the Fool card being here in the reverse, maybe some foolish decisions that he's made, but it is going to slow him down from having this new start that he believes that he wants or he deserves. So I hope this message resonated with you. This was for entertainment purposes only. If you like this type of entertainment, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.